This is the story of Porky. Now, I don't have a whole lot of history for this deer. He just kind of showed up, and he was actually the first big buck I had on camera for the season of 2021. The first photos I got of him, he had this huge belly on him, and so I figured the nickname would be Porky. And Porky just started becoming more and more regular. I got him on camera in the same spot, coming from the same direction, all the time.
It's hot today. It's the opener for bow season in Michigan. It's October 1st. The only reason I decided to hunt today is because I have a deer that's unpatterned. I have him on camera all the time in this alfalfa field. And he's always coming from the same direction. So I moved a trail camera. I moved that camera down a hunch, trying to figure out if I knew where he was bedding. And he broke daylight 2 days ago on a bad weather day. So I have a feeling that my hunch was right. He's either bedded in the cornfield on my neighbor's side, or he's bedded in the heart of this property. Those are the two places he likes to bed. Ideally, I'd like to shoot that buck. I nicknamed him Porky. Wish me luck, because I'm gonna need it.
It only took a couple days, and from hunting pressure, I do believe he actually moved his bed further back. So I made a move, and I did a hang and hunt.
I'm finally set up. It took me a bit. Not really used to the run and gun setup yet, but I have some kinks to work out, but I'll get there. But either way, I'm sitting in a tree. I've never sat in before. I've hunted this property my entire life. And I know this spot is really good, but I've never actually hung a stand here because we don't get east winds very often. And tonight we have an east wind. Basically how this sets up is I'm right next to bedding. There's a food plot to my left. I don't have too many shots in the food plot. But right in front of me, the deer funnel out from the bedding into this spot. And then they funnel out one way or the other. Now deer will come out of everywhere in this spot because it is pretty thick and nasty and there's a ton of trails. But in this spot specifically, I've seen a lot of deer come out. Maybe I'll get a deer in the saddle. Hopefully it works out tonight. Wish me luck.
It's the end of the night, and the wind dies down way more than it was supposed to. The thermals start carrying my scent in all sorts of different directions. Some does catch my scent. They don't bust, they don't blow, they just leave. It's the end of the night, so I really can't do too much about it. I'm just gonna stick it out and hope that I get lucky. Some time goes by, and I look up, and standing at 60 yards is Porky. This is the target deer that I came in here for, and he's walking right to me. Because of the way the thermals are falling, I know it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when he catches my scent, so it's gonna have to happen fast. I grab my bow, I pick a spot, put my pin right behind his shoulder, and I end my 4-year dry streak.
Right. No way. No way. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. I think it was good. I think it was good. I think it was good. He didn't go for it. He's right here. I was right. yards from the stand. I shot Porky, dude. Oh my god, it worked. I know you're at work, but you're gonna have one hell of a voicemail, buddy. I knew it. It's such a good feeling. Thank you, Dad. Thank you, Dad.
All right, well, this is a buck I call Porky. He was my #1 hit list deer. I'm not exactly sure how old he is per se, but he's definitely a big body deer. So he could be a 4-year-old. He's at least 3, but regardless, this is the deer I was actually trying to go after last night. I had him relatively patterned. I actually think that he only lived on part of this farm's only 70 acres, and I think he only lived on the south end of it. I only had 2 cameras that got photos of this deer on a regular basis. The rest of them, I never got a photo of him anywhere else. So I kind of played around and kind of figured out where I thought he was bedded. And you know, with hunting pressure, I think he actually moved his bed. So last night I made a move, did a hanging hunt in the saddle, and hunted a spot, hunted a tree that I've never hunted before. And I set it up for this specific trail and this setup, and he came down the trail I wanted him to come down. I didn't think that he actually would. I was kind of hoping that I would maybe potentially see him and I could make a move later, but he did exactly what I wanted him to. And I'm super lucky, very fortunate, because I did make a marginal shot, if you want to even call it that, but he only went about 60 yards and piled up behind me. So I will say I'm very fortunate with the fact that I did not make a great shot on this deer, but it did the trick. So what really makes this hunt so special is the fact that a lot of my friends came out and we had just celebrated, had a good time. This is the biggest buck I've ever killed. And being a guy from Michigan, when I hunt really pressured property, I try to pass really solid deer, and it's not something that, you know, is guaranteed for these animals to make it to the next season. He's not necessarily the biggest buck in the woods, but to me, he's everything. You know, he was 205 pounds dressed out, and I know he scores right around that 130 mark, but that's just numbers. That's not really what matters. What matters is the fact that I was able to do all this and have fun doing it, and then be around all my friends and family. I couldn't ask for anything more. You're late.
Huh?
You're late.
According to whose watch?
Everyone else's.
Who's everyone else?
Us.
Because him laying next to you don't sound like he's got to say.